Tonight, from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Their own 21-yard line.
First is Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. Now the ball comes loose. And the Cowboys have recovered. Now Dak Prescott leading the way onto the field. His 5th year now as a starter as he gets the keys again to this Dallas Cowboys offense.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players and one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Stop made by Fred Warner, who was the Niners' leading tackler during their run to the Super Bowl last year.
2nd and 8 at the Niners' 24-yard line.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The rookie CeeDee Lamb, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
3rd down and 8.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
Prescott.
And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
The first carry for the North Texas man, it's Jeff Wilson. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Gregory on the stop.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Garoppolo's pass.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
11 on the play.
Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. but they like what they did there.
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the 1st quarter here tonight.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Garoppolo again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Elliott. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Prescott with the give to East.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have retaken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Jerick McKinnon now to return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Raheem Mostert averaged 5.6 yards per carry last year. That was 2nd in the NFL. So it's safe to say that it paid off that he patterned his work ethic after his hero, Frank Gore, the former 49er. That's a guy who really shows you how to go out and get it done each and every day. Raheem Mostert patterned him and had a breakout season in 2019 with the 49ers.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Pass complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a first down.
49ers.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Samuel, and he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Mostert, toss left side. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. running the counter with Mostert. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
49ers 7.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, and now it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Niners on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A 26-yard attempt.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that what
he would have kept it on the ground.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It was Jalen Smith who worked through to make that stop.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Mostert. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Here we go.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
A gain of 3.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
They'll come out in the pistol. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. This is Mostert, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers have moved out in front. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
What you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 30.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
41-yard line.
2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
And a 49.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Garoppolo on 1st down. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Touchdown.
Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And he stopped immediately there. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Fair catch called for. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
What a breakout season Raheem Mostert had in 2019, and now he's got a chance to be the lead back for his team. In fact, he spent time in the offseason bulking up, trying to get stronger to absorb the extra hits and be available for more snaps. He wants to be a guy who carries the ball from game 1 all the way through game 16 in the regular season.
Here's Tevin Coleman, now in his 2nd year with the Niners. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
Brings up 2nd.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Mostert. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. There's Garoppolo to throw. ball hit as he throws there, incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
3rd and long.
That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He will find his receiver Pettis for a 49ers touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Robbie Gould to kick off for San Francisco.
After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Prescott from the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. CeeDee Lamb his intended target, but it's going to be second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. This to Jarwin, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Pass rusher extraordinaire, deformed that time, getting the sack. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided